everyone who's listening to this presentation. I'm Mustafa, and this is a video about abuse of power and with focus on sexual harassment. I'm here with
Sarah.
And Sarah what?
Sarah Halabi.
All right, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And we will be talking about experiences, perception of power, and all that good stuff. So, Sarah, what is what do you think is the reason why power is often abused?
Power is often abused because some people, when they have like a low status, maybe in a workplace, and all of a sudden they get a higher status, they basically have too much ego sometimes, and they feel like they have power now where before they didn't, and they abuse it. They don't know what to do with it. So with a reasonable person, it wouldn't happen, but it's somebody that might have too much ego or takes advantage of the new status they have. So that's when abuse of power takes into place. And again, wouldn't happen with a reasonable person.
Definitely, yes. Yeah. And one big question here is, have you ever or your friend ever experienced form of harassment, sexual harassment, workplace bullying, or any sort of abuse of this sort of power?
Well, at this workplace, like for me, I haven't, and like friends, it's like more of a common occurrence because it does happen often from what I hear.
Oops, it's okay.
So it does happen often. There was times when, a manager or something would act inappropriately to a worker who's female, and in some cases there have been like inappropriate jokes and all these things that sort of can lead to sexual harassment. They might not be sexual harassment, but it can lead to that. So it's like it's important that these things be stopped before it gets to that type of space. So it is a common occurrence, I find. Yeah.
All right.
And it's usually it's
okay.
kept hush hush because no one wants to be known as a whistleblower, or they don't want to be the person that, like whistleblower basically.
Okay.
Yeah, so no one, or they don't want to risk their job, especially if somebody's new. They come in and they have this type of behavior done to them. They don't want to risk their job by telling somebody because then they'll have a bad reputation with the senior staff or something.
Okay. And do you think that sometimes this sort of harassment may be because they perceive the woman in most cases as weaker, or sometimes can it be race-based?
I think just basically some people view women as an object, unfortunately, so they can't differentiate, like, okay, this is a human being, can't look at her like an object, but sometimes when sexual harassment does occur, I think most of the time is when the person in power abuses his power by looking at a woman as an object and not as somebody who is a productive member of the team. So I think that's where the issue is.
And do you have any recommendations on an organizational culture level and on an individual level?
Well, on an organizational level, I find it to be there has to be like a lot of unpacking done because I feel like there's a lot of politics in the workplace, and like even though there are so many rules and all of these acts to prevent such things like discrimination or sexual harassment from occurring, it does happen, and because there are so much politics, people can be protected, and I think that's the main issue in an organizational level to battle this type of political scenarios that are occurring in the workplace, because I think no matter what advice is given, that level of politics will always have some type of layer of protection for somebody who commits those bad acts of sexual harassment and whatnot. On an individual level, I think have proof. Like if somebody does it, just don't go and complain without any proof, and give it time. Maybe first approach the person, let them know like what you said is I feel it's uncomfortable before you take it anywhere further, because a person might not know that they're doing that. So maybe explaining why, letting them know it's not okay, and then if they continue and stop it while it's happening. Don't let it continue.
All right. Thank you so much, Sarah. And I know this was very brief, so we could have talked about this more, but, due to time constraints, we shall end it there.